Dear Bhante, how can we differentiate the right teachings from the wrong teachings of the Buddha? And how can lay Buddhists help in the propagation of the Dhamma?
Buddha taught. In the teachings of the Buddha, there are Suttana. So there is Abhidhamma and there is Vinaya. 3 Pitaka, 3 baskets of the teachings of the Buddha. Do you accept Abhidhamma? If you don't accept Abhidhamma, you cannot see the true teachings. Only because of Abhidhamma, we partially understand that Buddha is omniscient one. Only through learning, studying Abhidhamma, you will know how great the knowledge of the Buddha. But nowadays, including some Singaporeans, including some other nationalities from other countries, some they accept, some they reject. Because of the teachers, this happened. Those teachers who don't accept Abhidhamma, they guide their disciples that Abhidhamma is not the teachings of the Buddha. Those who don't accept commentary, they guide their disciples. Commentary are not the teachings of the Buddha. Frankly to say, if you read the teachings of the Buddha, which translated into English, you will see not the detailed instructions how to practice. It is suit for those who met with the Buddha. Because Buddha is omniscient one, he knew how to teach, what to teach, to which extent does he need to teach to his disciples. Those who met with him are those who fulfilled Parami along. He was fulfilling Parami as a bodhisattva in many, many existences that Buddha know them well. To which extent do I need to teach them? But for nowadays people, commentators know. Later generation will not understand properly what the Buddha said. So they wrote commentary, not by their own. In times of the Buddha, some they approached to the Buddha, listened the Dhamma from the Buddha. And that they didn't understand, because among many audience, they can't ask the Buddha at that time. So they went to see Venerable Sariputra, Venerable Anuruddha, Venerable Ananda, asked, what is the meaning of this? And they explain more detail. It is handed down from one generation to another, first orally. They are commentaries. Only when those who knew that later generation, they have no such good memory to memorize, and they had to hand it down orally from one generation to another, they studied written down into books. Okay? So commentaries are handed down in this way. We know how to teach deeply because of commentaries explanation. Yesterday Dhamma talk I've given in yesterday night Q&A section in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So it is translated into English the body, contemplating the body as the body. So kaye, kaya nupasi viharati. This is translated into English. Kaya, mostly you know kaya is body. But in the commentary it is explained. Kaya here means Rupa Kaya and Nama Kaya. We can't translate just body. What is Rupa Kaya? What is Nama Kaya? Rupa Kaya means a group of materiality. Buddha taught past, present, future, internally, externally, near, far, superior, inferior, gross and subtle. Altogether 11 categories. These are called Rupa Kaya. Nama Kaya means group of mentality. It is also 11 categories. Need to contemplate these Nama and Rupa in ultimate sense. Okay? So without reading the commentary, so please be aware of those who don't accept commentary. They translate the way they understand. It becomes their own commentary. Which commentary is more reliable? Those who know the wish of the Buddha or later generation. Okay? That's why we know how to teach. Because of commentary explanation, there they explain step by step how to practice. Okay? That's why if you want to learn the true teachings of the Buddha, you must be the one who follows. Those who accept the teachings of the Buddha, Pali, commentary, Abhidhamma, but this is not enough too. Those who accept commentary and Abhidhamma, they also don't follow commentary and Abhidhamma too. They follow their traditions, their teacher's tradition. This is also bad too. Okay? If it is not in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha, we also should not follow those traditions too. But if it is in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha, whichever tradition, it is okay. Okay? I can say generally only. You need to take time to know the truth.
And Bhante, how can lay Buddhists help in the propagation of the Dhamma?
Yeah, if you can support the true teachings of the Buddha, and to those who are distributing the true teachings of the Buddha, you are the one who is supporting propagation work. But initially, we all don't know who is doing propagation work righteously, in the right way. It doesn't matter. If you respect someone, we should support, because we respect wholesome states of mind arise. But along the way, you need to observe whether my teacher is teaching the true teachings of the Buddha. You need to depend not on the person, but on the Dhamma. People, mostly they depend on the person, not on the Dhamma. People quarrel one another because of depending on a person. If you depend on the Dhamma, there will be no quarreling. Okay? That's why please divide a person and the Dhamma, and do study, follow the Dhamma, not to a person. If I'm not telling the Dhamma, please don't follow. It is dangerous for you. If I'm telling the Dhamma, please follow the Dhamma, not to me. It is important. Okay?
Bhante, just a practical question. I've recently joined a running event that involves running through a forest, and it's organized by a group that's trying to do a good cause by raising awareness to preserve this forest. But after I signed up, this thought came to my mind that during the run, will we actually be squashing and killing the worms and the insects in the forest and actually, in a way, causing more damage? So although the run is for a good cause, now that this thought has come to my mind that I might be squashing the insects and the living creatures in the forest, should I then withdraw from the run?
Chetanaham bhikkhve kammam vadami, I declare volition as karma, Buddha said. Okay? If we are going to do something, we need to observe our mind, whether we have good intention or not. If we have good intention, so if we have no bad intention, it will be right. Anyway, if something we are going to do is for the suffering of others, if we really know better we shouldn't. Okay? Only after doing that, we doubt whether we shouldn't. Okay? Only after doing that, we doubt whether I have done something bad for others, creatures. You may have doubt, but you have no bad intention. You should not feel any bad thoughts in your mind. Okay? Because the time you're doing, happily doing, at that time you may have no any bad intention. But if you become aware of something that can be damaged by your action, at that time you should be more mindful. Okay? If you mindfully do, with good intention, for oneself and others, it will be fine. Okay?
Any other questions? Dear Bhante, how can we differentiate the right teachings from the wrong teachings of the Buddha? And how can lay Buddhists help in the propagation of the Dhamma?